Welcome to the Explainer. All right, let's talk Hexaverse. So you know the basics, right? You know how to play your cards, you know how to attack. Well, today, we're going to dig into the stuff that really separates the casual players from the true masters of the game.
Okay, so here's what we're going to cover. We'll start with the game's core engine, then we'll jump into mastering timing, exploring advanced combat, uncovering some wild paths to victory, and finally, pulling it all together into a killer deck strategy.
Right, so like I said, you've got the basics down. But this is about the next level. We're talking about those hidden layers of strategy, the stuff that takes you from just knowing how to play to actually knowing how to win. Okay, let's get into our first big concept. And honestly, it's the most fundamental rule of the entire game. It's like a built-in clock that's always ticking, and it governs everything. 30, that's the magic number. See, every single card you own, I'm talking your deck, your hand, what's on the field, even your recycle zone, all of it always has to add up to exactly 30. They call this your player's card universe, and you can never ever change it. It's this invisible pressure that's behind every single move you make.
Now, this 30-card limit leads to a really interesting point about running out of cards, because it can happen in two totally different ways. One way is, just a setback. Your opponent gets a point. But the other way, it's lights out, game over, instantly.
And here it is. This is the rule that makes it so deadly. If you have to draw a card, but your deck is empty, and your recycle zone is empty, you lose. Right there, on the spot. It does not matter what the score is. That recycle zone isn't just for getting cards back, you see. It's your lifeline. It's the only thing stopping you from an instant crushing defeat.
All right, let's talk about timing, because this is where Hexaverse really becomes a chess match. It's all about understanding who can act and when. It's not just what you play, it's when you play it that counts.
Okay, check out this hierarchy. It's basically a pecking order for your cards. Think of it like a conversation. A slow spell speed 1 starts a sentence, but before they can finish, someone with a fast spell speed 3 can just jump in and interrupt. They get the last word. This creates what's called a chain, and the key thing to remember is the fastest card, the last one played, happens first.
So let's walk through a classic example. Player A goes to use their character's awesome effect. That's a spell speed 1. But wait, player B, in response, slaps down an action card, Cancel, which is a blazing fast spell speed 3. So what happens? The chain resolves backwards. Cancel goes off first and, poof, player A's big, powerful effect just fizzles. It never even happened. Timing is everything.
Okay, moving on to combat. And look, attack and defense stats are important, sure, but they are not the whole story. The real game is in the keywords. These are what turn a simple fight into a total brainbender.
And here's a perfect example of that. Reflect. This keyword is an absolute game changer. Normally, you'd attack a weaker character, thinking it's a safe bet. But with a character like Blazer Steve Green, if your attack isn't strong enough, your attacker gets destroyed instead. It completely flips the script. A strong defense becomes the best offense.
And it just gets deeper from there. You've got stuff like row attack that can wipe a whole board, but it stops cold against one tough defender. Then you have shield, which is like a one-time free pass from destruction. But then there's sabotage, which just ignores shield completely. It's this constant game of rock, paper, scissors, and knowing these matchups is absolutely key.
So, we all know the main goal is to deck your opponent out 3 times. But what if I told you that's not the only way to win? The rulebook leaves the door open for some other, more surprising ways to snatch a victory.
So, is decking out the only way to win? The answer is a huge, resounding no. And there's an entire deck, Horizon Takeover, that is built entirely around this idea. They're basically playing a completely different game from everyone else at the table.
And this is how they do it. This strategy isn't about attacking or defending. It's about assembly. It's a high-risk, high-reward play where you have to build this very specific corporate empire right there on your field, piece by agonizing piece.
And there it is, right on the final card, VTL Tower. It's pretty clear. You get all the pieces in place, you instantly win the game. The game just ends. No more turns, no more decking out. You just declare victory. It completely bypasses the normal objective of the game.
And don't think this is just some theoretical, weird thing that never happens. It's a proven match-winning tactic. I mean, look at these official results. The deck completely dominated a top-tier opponent 3-0 using this exact combo. If you aren't prepared for it, it will steamroll you.
So, we've covered a lot.
But how does all this knowledge actually translate into strategy? Let's see how these advanced rules help you build a smarter, more resilient deck.
Well, a master deck builder doesn't just include powerful cards. They include cards that protect their powerful plays. They anticipate threats. They know that a game-winning combo is completely useless if it gets interrupted at the very last second.
And this is the perfect example. Why is a simple card like Cancel so important? Because it lets you protect your combo. It's a direct answer to your opponent's interruptions. This is a direct application of your knowledge of spell speeds, and it's the shield that protects your entire game-winning move.
And that's really the difference, isn't it? A good player knows the rules. A great player uses every single one of them, every keyword, every timing window, every obscure win condition to their advantage. So the real question is, now that you know the hidden rules, how will you build your universe? Thanks for watching this explainer.